What's going on, everybody? My name is Mac, that's M-A-Q, and I'm a full-time advertising creative, part-time smart. So I thought it'd be a good idea today to rank my favorite Night of Champion WWE promo posters. Some of the criteria I'm using, just who's featured on the poster, some style elements, and then is this the type of promotional piece that would get me excited for the what used to be pay-per-view / premium live event. So with no further ado, let's dive in. So at my number 10, it's going to be the 2012 version of the Night of Champions poster. It features John Cena, which, you know, I gotta say, this poster is just lacking for me. It's an okay photo of John. Definitely not his best, and he's been on a lot of these things. You can obviously clearly tell if you're familiar with the Night of Champions posters. This falls somewhere right along with the style that they established for this premium live event. They have these sparks and these golden flares. Is really supposed to make the WWE superstars look epic and almost gladiator-like. But just overall, I don't think this is the best poster of John, especially when this guy has so much content out there. We've seen better. I'm not a fan of his name being so large there on the left side of the poster. I mean, this guy is the biggest star in wrestling at this moment. We just don't need his name that large. I do love the name of the event, nice and large and centered. It's very clear. We know what this is. We know when it's happening. But just when you put these pieces together, I just think it's lacking. It doesn't do anything for me. It has some elements I like, but just together, it's not happening. At the number 9 spot, I actually have the 2009 version of this poster, and it features CM Punk. Right off the bat, it's I don't have maybe the best version displaying right now, but just a cool, solid image of CM Punk. What I love here is that we actually have the line that is this sort of just the promo of this event, right? Or just encompasses this event. The every championship is on the line. I don't love how the wording is kind of crammed up into that top left corner, but you know, at least it's there. The name of the event, Night of Champions, I like how the font looks there. Again, back in the day, live on pay-per-view, wasn't premium live events yet. And the sparks, it has a little bit of that element, that style I talked about, that Night of Champions, spark, flares, whatever you want to call them, that really kind of adds to this epicness, making the superstars feel and look like these gladiators. But another one where I get the intent, but just I think the execution's lacking, especially with that line of copy, what we call in the ad world, the words, the copy is just kind of crammed in the top left over there. For number 8, I'm going with the 2008 version of this poster. I like how number 9 was 2009 and number 8 is 2008. But in this poster, we have a bunch of different WWE superstars featured. And again, I love the intent of this. You're Night of Champions, you're showing that every title is going to be on the line, or at least most of them. You have your top guys, Triple H and Edge, up there with the WWE and World Championships respectively. But I actually love that you're also showing Matt Hardy with the US title. You have Kane in the background there. He's ECW champion. I wish he was a little, closer to the foreground here, because that is supposed to be a major brand. That is supposed to be a world title that they recognize. But he's sort of just crammed in the back there. Also, I believe that's Mickie James, crammed in the back with the Women's Championship. I think we weren't where things are today, where the women wrestlers were really getting their push and opportunity to be featured more. And I think that my guy Chris Jericho crammed in the back with the IC championship that you can barely see. So I love the idea of putting all these guys together. They look serious, they look tough, but just you can tell this photo is just this image, this collage is stitched together. But I think when you have this many people on the poster, the title seems really, really small in comparison. So just the elements together aren't working for me. At number 7, the 2011 version of the Night of Champions poster. This one departs from the style that's been established more than any other. You have this blue background, a color that's not even featured in any other poster that I can tell. Good looking picture of Randy Orton. He's strong. He's holding the world championship, or like a design stylized version of the world championship, real prominent. The Night of Champions, the event title is put on there. I really like that. Where this one drops down the rankings for me, though, again, that copy, the wording is really awkwardly laid out in this poster. It says, "It's a night you will never," and then "forget" is off. Like I just wish that was put on there clearly. Not really sure what the rationale for that was. But I do love the date. I love how the date is put on there with this yellow coloring. September 18th. It has a big fight, pay-per-view feel. So big fan of that. I mentioned earlier, like with John Cena's name felt out of the way. I don't love Randy Orton's name the way it's placed in the top left corner, but it's not too distracting. It's sort of the alignment of everything works, and it's small in comparison to the event title that's right below it. So overall, just a really solid poster, but this could have really been up the rankings a little more if the wording, again, that copy that we call in advertising, was laid out a little better. At number 6, 2013's Night of Champions poster. I went back and forth on this one. Got Kofi Kingston on here. Few things. I love that they're featuring just the Intercontinental Championship. We all know this is the working man's title. This title goes through its moments where it doesn't get enough love. So the fact that they put it on on the promotional piece for this is amazing. This photo of Kofi it's like black and white, but not quite. It's just really desaturated, and it's so dramatic. We're aware at this time that he's this athletic superstar, and I think you get a little bit of sense of that power as he's like hoisting up the title, and the way they shoot it, the flow, your eye kind of goes up his arm to the belt. So just really dramatic photo. I wish the event title was a little larger on there. They sort of snuck it in above his shoulder. Maybe there was opportunity to kind of put it a little, more above his head and actually increase the font size. But I mean, again, for the most part, solid job on this one. My number 5 is going to be the 2014 version of this poster, the Night of Champions poster. I really like this one. I was debating on putting it higher on the list, but you have here is a champion Brock Lesnar in the background. You have John Cena in the foreground, and John sort of just looking over his shoulder. This gives me big fight feel, excitement. Earlier I mentioned the style of these Night of Champions posters. They're really leveraging this lighting and sparks and gold flares, and you get a little bit of that. You get a little bit of that behind Brock Lesnar. You get some of that coming off the title. But this juxtaposition of the two of them with the name of the event front and center, I just think makes for a really strong poster. And I love, when these promotional pieces have to have a sponsor on there. Mountain Dew, that sponsor is small and off to the side, so it's not distracting. And then speaking of distracting, the names, right? John Cena's name is up there, Brock Lesnar's name is up there, but it's really small and out of the way. So job well done on this one. My number 4, it's going to be this year. It's going to be the 2023 Night of Champions poster. If you're watching this, you probably know we're in the middle of the never-ending reign of Roman Reigns. So it only makes sense that he is on here. He's, looking strong, looking dominant, and his counterpart. We have the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. She's in the background of this image, title over her shoulder. The image plays into her character very well. EST, she's confident. She knows, hey, I'm going to go on a run just as long as Roman Reigns, right? That's the feel this thing gives off. So if I'm coming in watching this, I'm expecting big things from these two. They switched up the style of the font a little bit with Night of Champions this year, and I don't hate it. I think they were in a better place some other years, but the flares and the lighting, I think, similar to the Brock Lesnar John Cena one of 2014. This one was sparingly used, so it's the right balance used in the background behind Bianca, and then in the foreground behind the logo of the event. So job well done. Number 3, maybe this is a little unexpected for folks, but the very first Night of Champions was 2007. It was titled Vengeance Night of Champions, and drastically different in look and feel from other years. But what I love here is this delivers on the promise. You have your 3 top guys of the promotion of each brand, just simply displaying the titles. They're looking great. It's just simple. This gives off big fight feels, right? I don't remember this card, but I'm pretty sure they're not fighting against each other. But this just lets me know it's a nice way to establish what a pay-per-view is going to be about. And I think they did a great job. The branding is more vengeance, focused, I guess, with that lower third. But in terms of the imagery, I love it. The title display, love it. And bit of a nostalgia guy, so I think this one shot up a few spots on the chart because of that. All right, number 2, I'm gonna go with the 2010 Night of Champions poster. I really, really, really like this. It's, first off, Kane just looks awesome in this thing. He, I'm gonna say most posters, I haven't done the count, but most posters probably have Kane wearing his mask, right? They're coming more from the Attitude Era, but this one here, him unmasked, he looks psychotic. He looks, everything that his character is supposed to be. And just the way he's holding the title here. Monsters, like him, The Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, they don't get these long title runs. So for him to be the champion here on the poster, holding the ECW title, the World Heavyweight Championship, is just something so menacing. Like, he's holding it out there like, I dare somebody to take this from me. And then the name of the event, Night of Champions, I just think it's well displayed there. Great sizing and proportion. And then I'll also speak to Kane is in the shadows, right? This poster, you can't really tell where with the shadowing, just sort of where the poster ends, and there's something very dramatic about that, which I love, and then light flares, shining off of the title, nothing over the top, and the sponsorship down there. I can't make it out because it's not the best quality image I have in there, but just out of the way. So this could have been my top poster, but I decided to go with this one. It's the 2015 Night of Champions poster. It's featuring Sting, the Icon. This might be the best image of Sting out there, period, right? Like, I can't think of something right now, that looks this cool, that looks this, I've used the word dramatic a lot, but just looks this intense. Similar to the Kane photo that we just looked at, or image that we looked at in the poster. It's Sting here in the shadows. We're only seeing him in his crow makeup. The Night of Champions title is when I say title, I mean just the logo and the branding is just a nice size, proportionate. This one doesn't show a championship belt, which in some ways I'm a little disappointed, but is also I'm perfectly okay with, because this is such just a dramatic, intense image. I also appreciate, if you realize, or if this is the year Sting joined WWE, and he's on the poster for WrestleMania earlier in the year, but he's on there with other people, so he gets lost in the shuffle. So for him to really get this focus, get this attention, no flares in this year's version of the poster, but they really kind of played up the gold in his eyes, right? He can see that championship, and I believe he was facing Seth Rollins this year. So just job well done. So that's my top 10 of Night of Champions posters. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, give me your top 10s in the comments, and I'm gonna try to make some more videos. Thank you.